Digiscrap map, finding your way in digital scrapbooking. Digiscrap map, finding your way in digital scrapbooking.
Hey all, here we are at Digiscrap Map, and I want to thank everybody in the chat room for being patient as we've had a bunch of technical issues getting started today. I'm excited to share with you our guest. We've been chatting here for last night and today, and I've really gotten to know her, and uh, she's really sweet, and I think you're gonna enjoy meeting her too. I do want to mention that we have 8 guests here that are not logged in. If you will log in, you will be able to ask our guests questions. It's a free Ustream account. And so hopefully we'll see some more people logging in here shortly. We have 2 guests for you tonight. They're sisters sitting next to each other on the couch, and but we're going to be meeting them one at a time. And so, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Lena Brandenburg. Hi, Lena. Go ahead and tell everybody hi.
Hello.
Um, Lena has a bad internet connection, and we've been losing her every once in a while. But if we lose her in the middle of the show, that's okay. We're going to get her right back. We'll just keep working through all these issues. And Lena, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us where your stores are, and a little bit about your children. Lena, did you hear me?
Yep, I did. I'm waiting. There's a little bit of a lag on my end.
Okay. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I am Lena Brandenburg, soon to be Lena Gardner. I'm getting married in 5 weeks. And I have been designing as part of Bella Gypsy Designs for 4.5 years. And I have 3 kids. They are 9, 3, and 2. And I spend all of my time digital scrapbooking and designing.
I got to meet 2 of your kids last night. They got on the camera when we were practicing, and I can tell y'all they're really cute and full of energy. Um, she's got her hands full, just like any mom would, though. Uh, and they they they're great little kids. They're really cute, and they got big eyes. Um, where do you
They
live?
really enjoyed the webcam last night.
Did they? Where do you live, Lena?
We live about an hour south of Lexington, Kentucky.
We talked about that last night. How you're it. I'm here in the southern part of Missouri, and it doesn't take me very long to drive to Kentucky, but it takes me very long to drive to the other side of Kentucky.
Right.
Kentucky is such a wide state. Um, where can we find your sites? Where can we find your store?
We have stores at acherryontop.com, at elementalscraps.com, at gotapixel.com, and this month we are guesting at Scrap Matters.
Oh, you're guesting at Scrap Matters.
Yes, ma'am.
I thought you had a permanent store there. Tell everybody what guesting is all about, because that's a kind of a new concept even to me. It's something that uh, I think is fairly new. It might not be real new, but it's really caught on. It's sort of more of a trend that's happening more and more.
Right. Guesting can be a lot of fun. It helps us be able to gain exposure at a new store, and it helps the store be able um, maybe get some new customers who follow us there. We've had a lot of fun at Scrap Matters this month.
And so you're just there for a short while selling a kit, and then that what next month they'll have a different guest.
Right, right. They usually have a guest lineup. A lot of digital scrapbooking stores are doing it. We lucked out and managed to snag a spot for July because the original July guest needed to back out at the last minute, so we got to guest for them in July. And while we're there, we will release our regular new releases at Scrap Matters, just like we do at our and additionally have some exclusives to entice people to buy from there.
They're having a little. Someone's having trouble in the chat room with the video and the sound, but some are doing okay. So I was checking on that. Um, it seems like UStream sometimes needs. What was it that we were having trouble with last night? Uh,
Mac- Macro Flash or something like
yeah,
that.
your flash needs to be updated. Um, so um, I've got some images here that we're gonna. There's a pop-out link. They're saying right above Hummy. They're helping each other. I love when they help each other in the chat room. um, we've got some images we're going to go over that Lena has shared with me before we open things up to questions, and we do have a freebie later on. Um, Lena has with her her sister, and they designed together, and their design name is Bella Gypsy. Her sister's name is Tabatha Reed, and we are going to meet her later, and I'll probably give out that freebie right before we meet her. But first, let's look at one of Lena's favorite layouts that she's made. So I'm going to cover you up, Lena.
Okay.
And here is your favorite layout. And as I make it bigger for everybody, go ahead and tell them about it. Go ahead and tell them about it.
Okie dokie. That I picked that as my favorite layout. I just way that it turned out in the end, and I liked the really I liked the photo. That's what I loved about it so much. Is that bad? Is that terrible?
No, I love the photo too. But I love the style of your scrapbooking. I love the clustering, and then you have a lot of white space. And this, yeah, look at that photo. That is pretty. Who is that?
That is Nathan. He will be 10 next month,
That's your son Nathan.
and I absolutely yeah. That's my Nathan. I'd kill for those eyebrows and eyelashes.
Oh, what a goofy look.
He is goofy. I don't know where he gets it from. Hey, no comments from the peanut gallery. I,
What?
that,
Okay.
just got that just got a that just got a snort from James over there.
And James is Lena's fiance. And I can tell you he's a really good guy. While we were chatting last night, he was changing the diapers and putting them to bed to allow her to do this. So he's a good man. She needs to hang on to him.
Yeah, I think I'm going to.
Okay, let's look at the next image, and it is your favorite technique. Go ahead and tell us about your favorite technique, which really isn't a technique, you said.
Right. I don't know so much about technique. I scrap like a paper scrapper, so there's not a lot of what I believe are unique techniques in what I do, but I really loved this layout because of the bold black and white background, and I love using bold backgrounds, and I always feel like I've done something sneaky when I get away with it.
I love how to me, it shouts out your this layout shouts out your scrapbooking style. Um, it's very different than mine, but I really like what I'm seeing, and so maybe I need to come head over to your gallery and lift you someday.
Hey, I like that.
I like this rounded corner on just one. Did you make that yourself?
I did actually. This was done for a challenge, and the challenge was to lift a paper layout. And I went and looked at this paper layout and couldn't figure out exactly how she did it. So I had to make a template so that I could scrap like that. So I made this template and then scrapped with it.
I see. Who is James? Somebody named is Star Wars fan. Is that James? I'm reading in the chat room. I'm trying to learn names.
Oh, well, they're Star Wars fans. That is Trisha, I think. And
Trisha.
Star Wars Girl is Amy.
Okay, which ID is James? They're all talking about James.
They're talking about my fiance, James.
Oh, okay. That'd be like a duh moment on me. There. Okay. They're saying hi to James. James, you're popular and you're not even in the video. We may have to get him on.
Yeah, he's sitting next to me.
We'll get him on later when we uncover you again.
Okay.
Oriana Vianney says
Yep.
she's scared of rickrack. I wonder why she would be scared of rickrack.
Oriana, Oriana is my Latin lover. Sorry, James. Oriana used to be on my CT like back in 2006 or something. Tabitha and she was on our CT back then, and I've had a lot of fun with her. I've gotten Christmas cards from her from El Salvador, and we've had so much fun together.
Oh, you guys are funny. And I know Oriana is around the digital scrapbooking world a lot. I've seen her, and I'm so glad to see so many familiar faces here. Okay, let's look at the next image, which is your best selling kit in the store. And I'm going to put a link up for that, Lena, while you begin to talk about it. And I do have previews of each one of these 12. But while I put this link up, go ahead and tell us about why you titled it. I'm curious why it's titled 12 Big Personalities, or Plenty of Personalities.
Right. That collection, Tabitha and I started working on last fall. We wanted to do a collection that would be for boys and girls, and we couldn't decide how we were going to name it. And so for the time being, I just said, well, let's just come up with boy names and 6 girl names, and it was a lot of fun. It was like getting to name children all over again. And I'm done having kids, so that was a lot of fun. I said, I get to name 3 girls and 3 boys, name 3 boys and 3 girls. And we started working on the collection. Before we knew it, we had 12 different kits that each personality. And so the collection name came last. We wanted to come up with something that would define the collection and let people know that we had these 12 little fictitious children that we loved a whole lot.
And so that's really cool. I love it. And so
Thank you.
we have this link here on the bottom of the screen. And of course, this video is being recorded. I'd better go check and make sure it is. Yes. And you can always watch the video later and get that link to go to the store to see this in the store. I noted that it was $24 at Elemental Scraps, and but it is also 12 kits. So that would equal $2 a kit, and so that's a really good price. Let's look at some of them or all of them. We have this one called Braden. It says wild hyper crazy. I like the colors in here. If anybody
What? Oh,
go
sorry.
no go ahead talk.
Well, what's funny about looking at these now is just watching how our style has already evolved. We created this collection just about 8 months ago, but even in that 8 months, our kits have changed a lot. I almost didn't want to feature it because it is 8 months old and scrapbooking can change a lot in that amount of time, but it still to this date is one of our most popular products. So if we're answering honestly, people loved this collection.
The Star Wars fan says she wants to buy it someday. It could literally be the only scrapbook supplies you'd ever need.
That's nice.
That was really sweet. I like the metal elements in it, but we got a lot more to look at here. The next one in the kit is called Claire, and it says sweet on it. And anybody reading my blog posts recently, and I did a a video that showed you where to find the muted colors on your color picker. I see that these are muted colors. So I think Lena and I would get along really well.
Claire is the oldest. Claire's the oldest. Claire was the kid that got done first, and that was my baby. Claire was my baby. So was Braden. We each split this collection up. So Tabatha.
Okay, say that last part again. You cut out.
Sorry, I said six of these kits ended up being mine, and six of them ended up being Tabitha's. And Claire was my baby. I like muted colors, so.
In the chat room, they're talking about Mosey. I guess because this is such a big kit, you'd need to make sure it's backed up. Or did somebody's EHD? I have heard that. Um, you can, and I wish I would have tried it when my EHD, I had, not my EHD, my hard drive went out. Um, but when your hard drives or your external hard drives go out, I love that they brought this up because this is what's great, getting all this information out there in the digital scrapbooking world. But I've heard this really works if your hard drive or external hard drive goes out. You can put it in the freezer. Yes, the freezer of all places for a while and try plugging it back in, and many people in the digital scrapbooking world have had success. Now, I've heard though it only works once, so if you get it to boot, hurry up and get all the stuff off of it. So before you boot it, make sure you have somewhere to move it to because it only works once. But isn't that cool?
That is a very cool tip.
So you guys are welcome to ask questions in the chat room. We are reading as we go through these. And we'll stop at any point and talk with you. Here's the next kit. Whoa, okay, so much for those muted colors. This one's bright, so this kit has something for everybody. Lena, they want to know, Star Wars Girl wants to know when your wedding date is.
We are actually getting married on August 28th, so we've got 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
I know.
So you have your dress.
I do.
And Oriana wants to know if she's invited.
Of course.
So this kit is really bright and it's called Daphne. So I suppose it reflects Daphne's personality.
It's supposed to be Parker's name, but he wound up being a boy, so there you have
And the next one is in greens. It's is it Declan?
it. That's Tabitha's baby.
Um, I like I'm a real stinker for frames, see, and I like the frame in that one. I like things like that frame where it just accents the photo but doesn't, take over the picture. So that's really cool. And the next one is in peaches, and it says Ella, artsy free. And they say, how can you pick your favorite from this collection? And Kim says, I think I've used all but two of them.
That's impressive too because Kim has two baby boys and she managed to use four of the six girl kits. I'm impressed.
All right, I'm impressed too. Who's C. Sampson?
That is Crystal.
Crystal. Nice to meet you, Crystal. Oh, I see. I like this one. This is Graham, and I tend to like these colors because I have three boys myself, so I'm always drawn to the blues and the greens and the browns. I like that one, and then we'll go on to the next one. Gwendolyn says spunky, and it certainly does look like a spunky kit. I love how they do fit the various personalities. You really did good putting these together.
Thank you.
Oh, I like these colors. This one says, is it Liam?
I think it's Liam.
Uh huh. I like the colors in this kit.
I'm waiting. This,
Is that
that
Tabatha's?
was Tess good at boy kits. She's good at boy kits and she has three boys.
Tabatha has three boys. We're going to meet her in a little bit. I like the stitching in it down here.
Yep. Yes. Yeah.
And we have Lola. What's that? Oh, it says diva on it. So it's a diva personality. And Maddox, Rebel. It says Little Rebel on it. Yeah, that's a great boy kit. I like the colors in this one too. Oh, they say I love this one. My heart rate is up. Okay, I really am having fun with some of these people in the chat room. Oh, they've got some good
That is.
personalities here in the chat room. They're making me laugh. And the 11th one is called Roman, and all certified boy. Another boy one. There's a lot of great papers in all these kits. And the very last one is called Skylar. Did you have anything else you wanted to tell us about these before we move on?
Uh, no, just that they need a good home.
Okay, we're gonna.
Traffickers to buy them and take them home and be good to them.
Uh, I'm gonna show you one more before we bring her back up and open it up to questions in the chat room. And this is, and I have a link for it also. This is what's her favorite kit to make, and it can be bought at Elemental Scraps for $5.50. There's a lot in there for $5.50, and it's called Spaghetti and or Pusketty, and Connie Prince helped her make it. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about that while I get the link up.
Well, Paschetti was one of those ideas that but we weren't sure how to do it. Every mom has kids picture eating spaghetti and with spaghetti sauce all over their face, asleep in a plate of spaghetti. I mean, kids love pasta, and we wanted to have wrap that, but pulling off a plate of spaghetti was really difficult. So we actually enlisted the help of a dear friend of mine who's a wonderful artist, way better than me any day, and she drew the spaghetti for us. And after she did that, we were able to put the rest of the kit together pretty simply, just over the course of a few days, collaborating with Connie on it. And it's just a fun kit to work with.
So Connie drew the plate of spaghetti there.
No, we hired someone. We hired someone to draw the plate of
Oh
spaghetti.
my! Wow, that and
It's pretty complex. The girl who did it is a dear friend of mine, and she agrees.
okay, okay, you cut out at the end, and she what?
Oh, I said the person who we paid to draw us has art degree, so she's quite the professional at it.
She's quite the. It looks like a professional. I I love how you can see the noodles in it. Um, and you got a fork and a menu over here. I see a hinge hiding down here, staples, buttons, strings. There's a lot in this kit.
Well, we collaborate with Connie Prince so much that we wound up coming up with our own name and our own logo. We do about 4 collabs per month with Connie.
Really? And so, Threology, is that the logo?
Right.
Okay, you're cutting out. Try again. Start over.
That's yes. Threology is Tabatha and I and Connie Prince.
Very cool. Well, let's look at Lena again. When we come back, we're gonna do a freebie, and when we come back to the images, we're gonna do a freebie, and then we're gonna be meeting Tabatha. But for now, let's open it up to some questions in the chat room. Does anybody have questions that they want to ask of Lena? If not, I got a whole list of them I can ask. She says, Lena, you look nervous. Are you nervous, Lena?
No, the reason I looked nervous is because she said Tabatha.
Tabatha's nervous.
I looked nervous because you said Tabatha was coming on, and I was waiting to see its Tabatha-shaped hole in the door.
Okay, does anybody have any questions? Please type in the chat room. If you're not logged in, um, you can log in. It's a free Ustream account to be able to post in the chat room. So, anybody have any questions for Tabatha? I mean, not Tabatha, Lena. Did I just do that again? How long does it take you to make a layout? Lena? Can,
Well, maybe about an hour. I've never pretended myself. An hour, maybe 2.
takes me at least 2 hours, sometimes a lot more.
Well, like I like to find templates that help me scrap faster. That's one thing. I'd like to do more scrapping, and therefore I like to maximize the time that I have to do it in.
Do you find now that you're designing you can't find as much time to scrap?
Oh, heck yeah. It's really hard to find 5 minutes to scrap anymore. Tabatha has recently started making sure that she scraps with all of our kits, and I've so thoroughly enjoyed seeing her layouts to it.
Yay, Tabatha! That's great that she makes it a priority to find time to scrap. I know a lot of designers have trouble, and I think that's kind of I look at it sometimes like a sacrifice, you know, because they're no longer preserving their own memories. And I think sometimes designers have to take a break and actually scrap just to get their mojo back, to get their inspiration back to make a kit. Do you ever find that you need to do that?
Yeah, I find not so much that I lose my mojo, but I just stop being as excited about things. And sometimes just looking through my own layouts reminds me of why I'm doing it. So sometimes you need that nudge.
Christy in the chat room, she says, but you are your own best CT as well as product testing. And so using your own stuff, do you want to comment on that?
No, I think that's a really good point. That I've loved Tabitha's layouts that she does with her kits because she scraps the way that she would want them scrapped. So we have a wonderful CT and we love our CT, but I've enjoyed seeing Tabitha's take what she would do with the kit, and it kind of makes me want to make sure that I have time to scrap with it too. Christy has a good point. You can hiccups that have occurred with the kit when you scrap with it yourself.
And it gives Star Wars fans, I forgot what you said her name was. She says it proves that the designer is scrappable. I've never thought about that before, but it's true. It kind of um, gives a designer credit, or uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Well,
Credibility?
yeah, I guess credibility. Um, you know, that they are actually able to use those designs in layouts that they make. That they're just not out there making random things that are useless in layouts. I have I've had CT assignments before where I have to be very creative and work really hard to make a layout with a designer's kit. I've never had problems with Bella Gypsy kits. So Star Wars fans must be on your CT. And and I agree. That's one of the pitfalls I think people complain about who are on CTs. We'll review what a CT is again for anybody that's new to scrapbooking here. A CT is a creative team, and they get the kits for free in turn for making layouts with them to help market those kits. And sometimes there's some other compensations, but that's the gist of it. And so the CT agrees to scrap with that designer's kits, and if they get one that they don't like, they have to force themselves to make a page with it, and that's a big downfall of the CTs. So how do you think people should I loved your grin there. How do you think people should work to, what's the problem, the way to solve that? Just make sure you pick a designer that you like their designs a lot. They want to know if Elemental Scraps takes credit cards or just PayPal.
They take both.
They take both. Do, does anybody have any more questions? If not, I'm going to ask her some more.
A pink phase? I don't know what you're talking about. Oriana says that I had a pink phase that almost killed her as a mother of a boy. I don't remember that. I'm just going to block that out of my memory, apparently.
Um, when did you start design, or when did you start digital scrapbooking? You've been around, I think, longer than I have, haven't you?
I'm not sure. I started designing with Tabatha in February of 2006, and I designed several kits before I ever scrapped a page.
So that was about 7 months after I came into digital scrapbooking. So I've seen you around for a long time, for years now, and it's so good to be able to see you in person. Um, where else have you sold? What's kind of your
Um,
designing history?
well, we started at ACOT when ACOT began having a digital scrapbooking store. So we were one of the first designers that launched there. We started shortly thereafter at a few shops
Okay,
that
wait, start
don't
over.
exist anymore.
Okay, I think you told me that um, you started at a few sites that don't exist anymore. You cut out. Is that what you said?
That's exactly what I said.
What were the names of them? Because I'm curious if I remember them. They're part of Digi history.
I remember, what was that? We can't remember.
That's okay.
Digiscrap and Biz. Sorry, that's what it was called.
Oh, I
Um,
remember that one. I remember.
remember,
Who
it
owned
was
it?
Michelle Pearson owned it, of Michelle Pearson Photography.
I remember that one.
There was that one, and then we sold for a brief period of time at a store owned by Miriam Lima. That one was called To Be Scrap. And then we got on at Elemental Scraps.
Now,
Then
go on.
Oh, and then we took a hiatus from scrapping for a little while, or excuse me, from designing for a little while. And when we came back, Tabatha went to Scrapbook Bites, and I separately went to the Digi shop at that time, and then we got back together and reformed Bella Gypsy.
And I saw a question in the chat room. Excuse me for all for flashing you there. I was trying to fix my shirt and I fixed it the wrong way. This is seriously, it is not a X-rated show. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Somebody asks how you came up with Bella Gypsy.
Right. When we first started Bella Gypsy Designs, it was called something else. Tabitha was calling it Scrapsy Gypsy. And she really liked the name Gypsy, and she wanted to work scrapping into the Gypsy the name because she liked it so much. And when I joined her, I was going to Jason Mraz back in 2006, and he had a song out called Bella Luna that I used to joke that he was singing Bella Lena because I was single at the time, and and
I can't put that darn I can't put that darn thing on without laughing. But some people tease me it's my tiara. And Dawn's not here. She's was going to be here, but she always comes on when I put it on, and she sings "I Feel Pretty." Oh, but she sings better than I do. Um, and
that's fun.
they're mad at me because it didn't make an appearance last time, so I had to make an appearance this time.
So that's it. I used to joke that he was singing that song Bella Luna to me. So we took the Bella from that and the Gypsy from Tabitha's nickname and mashed them together.
I've never heard of the song Bella Luna. Can I go to YouTube and find it?
You can.
I think I may just do that. Um, do did I miss any questions? Christy says I have to edit it before I put it on iTunes.
That
My,
might be smart.
we'll see. It takes time to edit. Um, Did I miss any more questions? I don't have Dawn sending me questions here. Christy said she asked when the next CT call will be.
um, we really don't like having CT calls, so the chances of that, we have been trying to handpick our creative team members by having really short, like Facebook fan page calls. So, chance of catching a spot with us is by keeping an eye on the Facebook fan page.
I think that's probably a good idea because I read all the time at Digishop Talk uh, where people are very disappointed when they take time to submit to a CT call, and a lot of times they don't even get a reply to that CT call. And um, hand selecting them like that is a great way to, you know, not disappoint people. Let's give away our freebie. Shall we do that? And then
Sounds fantastic.
when we give the free after we give the freebie away, we're going to meet Tabatha. So tell her to get
Okay, sounds good.
unnervous. Okay, that was here was her favorite kit to design, and this is the freebie. And I'm going to get the link for you. And why don't you tell us about your freebie while I get the link?
Okay, the freebie?
Mm-hmm.
That is a template I made yesterday so that everybody could have a reward for coming and sitting through this. In case I was incredibly boring and dull.
No, you're not.
They would get a prize.
You are not boring and dull at all. There's the link, and I'll put it in the chat room. And it is a template. It's a very nice template. So, did you make this, or did Tabatha make it?
I made this one, but Tabatha makes templates too. Sometimes people have really begun to be able to tell who is making the templates. We don't generally make a point to anybody necessarily know who created a kit if we didn't work on it together, because sometimes we can't work on them together. You in theory shouldn't be able to tell, but when it comes to the templates you can tell because we have a little bit of a different scrapping style. Our style but not exactly the same. So Tabatha's pages are full of papers and elements, and mine are a little bit more white space. So yeah, this one's mine, you can tell.
I see that you've got the name Sketchology on it. Can you tell us how you came up with that name? I love it. You're very creative with the text.
Thank you. I love making up words, and we just made up that word.
It's got brackets in the middle of it. I love it.
Tabatha made that logo. We've been doing Sketchologies now for a year and a half and didn't have a logo till last week because we're cool like that.
But I love your preview even. I mean, your preview has the tabs down the sides that says "See you okay," freebie, Sketchology, 12 by 12 PSD, and even a little bit of layering with some strings sticking out. I love it. You're very creative.
Tabatha made that.
So you have a lot of
In our new packaging, we had old packaging from almost 2 years ago, and I was sick of looking at and neither one of us wanted to fix it. And finally one day she said, "I'm gonna do it," and she sat down, and a couple of hours later she's like, "You better like this." It took me forever.
She did a great job. She's so talented. Um,
She
I have to laugh. They're saying in the chat room that you can make any word cool by adding ology to it. So is hummyology cool?
Yes, that's a Bella Gypsyology. See,
Bella
just
gypsyology.
tongue.
Oh, that's funny. I'm not quite sure what humology would be, but
No, I'm laundryology sounds horrible.
what now?
Laundryology. You know,
Laundryology.
the study of not doing my laundry.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. You are too funny. Ah, I'm going to start crying here, Lena. So now we're going to get ready to meet your sister. Is she okay? I know she's nervous. So I'll go ahead. eh,
I
Uh-oh,
my knee holes in the back.
you're cutting out again.
That's because I moved.
Okay, there's some laughing going on your side of the world. Go ahead and let's get your sister here with us. Go ahead and switch up, and we'll meet Tabatha. Does everybody want to meet Tabatha in the chat room? Say hi to her while they switch up. Kim says, let's all chat. Tab, 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 tab. I promised Tabatha that I would cover her face up quickly.
Okay, I'm gonna do it for you. It's gonna be okay.
Tabatha, can you hear me?
Yes.
Here she comes, everyone. I love Tabitha's laugh and her smile. Gosh, she's so happy. Okay, Tabitha, I think we could hang out together and have a lot of good laughs together. She can't even hear me yet. I have to get the mic on. Sisters taking care of each other. Ah! In the chat room, they said it's giggleology. So we need to. This needs to be your next kit name, I think. Giggleology. I love the giggleology. So, Tabitha, tell us just briefly a little bit about yourself, and then I'm going to cover you up and put on your layout. How many children do you have?
I have 3 boys.
3 boys. How old are they?
7, 6, and 2.
Oh, wow. I have 3 boys, and mine are 18, 19, and 23. And so I was right where you were one day, and I don't want to go back there. They're so cute together. They say you're cute together. Okay, Tabitha, I'm going to cover you up now, as I promised I would, and we're going to look at something. I'll have to look at my notes. There we go. We have here is, oops, wrong notes, is your favorite layout. So go ahead and tell us about your favorite layout, Tabitha. Why is this your favorite? Tabitha, can you tell us why this is your favorite layout? Can you hear me?
3 of my boys on it, and
Okay, she's cutting out. Okay, okay, start over because you're cutting out. I heard that it has your 3 boys on it.
yeah. three of them, and they're all so cute. And they are my reason to be.
Aww. Gosh, that shows some of what your personality and what a good mom you are. And they're adorable. They're adorable. They're saying in the chat room that they just love your layouts, and I saw from the kits you made what great skill you have. You do have a lot of great skill, and it says raisin D tree. Is that what it says on there?
Yeah, yeah, raisins on track. A reason to be.
And now the next one is got your favorite technique on it. Do you want to tell us about your favorite technique?
Well, I don't have a lot of technique, but I do love pattern papers, and I like to pile as many patterns on my page as I can possibly get.
I can see that you are talented with that. That's something I struggle with, but I see you have here in the background right away three background papers piled on top of each other, and then I see a striped paper, and then in the circles there's two more different kinds of papers, and here is the pink paper, and this circle is yet another pattern. I am really amazed at how you've got all those patterns to work together and not be busy. Does that just come natural for you?
I think so.
Would you have any tips to help people like me that it where it doesn't come natural to use patterns?
I just try to balance big busy patterns with not so busy patterns, and try to get them on there until they look right.
So, like, I guess the striped paper is kind of a busy one,
Yeah.
and maybe the polka dot paper is kind of busy a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta come back. We're gonna show them now. Again, you guys are giggle boxes today. They want to know, I saw a question in the forum. They want to know, have either of you ever paper scrapped?
I'm not gonna give it back to Lena.
All right. Thanks for being with us, Tabatha. Thanks for being with us.
Okay, yep. I'm back.
Tell her thanks for being with us. I don't think she heard me.
She heard you. She said, yeah.
I love her giggle is infectious. I
She's gonna kill me later.
you weren't I don't know if you heard, but they were saying giggleology, so that needs to be the name of your next kit that you make. Giggleology. I love it. I got to get back to the chat room. Have I missed any questions in the chat room?
I saw one while you and Tabatha were chatting. Christy wants to know if one of us prefers for the other, and there is an answer to that. Tabatha is obsessed with ribbons and rickrack and string, so when we work on a kit together, we'll work on the papers together until the paper pack is done, and then I'll come over to the elements folder and all of the ribbons will be done already, which has created ribbons because I never have to do it.
She's still giggling over there. I love it. Uh, um, Yeah, she's Sherry says I can't use patterns together this well. Looks awesome. I agree. That did look awesome. She is very gifted at that, for sure. Um, are there any more questions? I'm trying to read to see if I missed any. I'm missing Dawn. Dawn used to feed me the questions, but she's not with us tonight. Star Wars fan says with templates, she just uses Control G over and over again until the right paper looks uh, uh, right for the right spot. And I think, Lena, you're frozen with your mouth in a funny position. I hope your internet connection comes back. Can you hear me? There it goes. Oh, call dropped. We're gonna get her back.
Get out of the wall.
Oh, did we lose you again? Here we comes.
Sorry.
There we go. Um, they're wanting to get a screenshot of that last one where it froze, and they missed it. That's what they're saying in the chat room. Does anybody else have any more questions for Lena before we go? I want to know, you just said something about when you go to look at that folder when you're designing that you open it up and the ribbons are all there already. Uh-oh, we've lost you again. Can you hear me? There we go. And um, so when you design, do you like choose a color palette together? Do you sit down side by side and choose it together?
Usually one of the
Okay, Christy says phrenology, which is funny. You've got to start over because you're cutting in and out.
will start on it, but we
Okay, you got it. You're still choppy. Adjust your wire. See if that helps. You got to start over. We didn't hear your answer.
I forgot the question.
How do you pick out a color palette? Do you sit down together?
We'll get input from the other one, and we just kind of like it.
I only heard that last part. You just get input from each other. And then when you design, do you design like from the same, you mentioned something about opening up a folder. Does she like make some stuff on her computer and email it to you, or do you have like a server where you both, how do you coordinate it? Who's going to do what parts?
Well, for right now, we have a shared drive. I work from my laptop, and Tabatha works from her laptop, but we both access her desktop. And because we live in the same house, we can do that for now, but eventually when I move away, which will be in about 8 weeks, we're going to have to come up with.
So you're moving out. You cut out at the end. So you're moving out because you're getting married.
That's right. I'm no longer Tabitha's problem.
So, are we gonna, before we close, are we gonna convince James to come on and show his face?
Well, he's generally a very friendly guy, so I'm sure he would, except he's on the bed asleep right now.
Oh, he didn't even last through the chat.
He didn't.
I'm surprised with all the giggling that he's asleep.
He can sleep through anything. He's a man.
That's true. I see we keep getting more and more people here. We got at least like 22 people 23 people here tonight, and so we're really happy to see everybody here tonight. And we're gonna close, and but if you stick around, I'm just gonna close the recording for now. And if you stick around, we'll give out that freebie link one more time, and we can just chat, continue chatting if you so choose. So we want to, Lena, do you want to say bye to everybody before we go?
Thanks for coming, everybody. Have a good night.